Welcome to Swoon-Worthy, a podcast dedicated to movies and series set in historical time periods, also known as the period drama. For this episode, we are traveling to Germany, 1838, and to the mysterious and scary castle of Nosferatu, or Dracula, which is set east of the Carpathian Mountains, just in time for Halloween, because of course we have to cover not just swoon-worthy movies in October, but spook-worthy movies. My co-host Stephanie and I will be diving into the Robert Eggers 2024 film Nosferatu, and we will of course discuss the other adaptations of Nosferatu and Dracula along the way. With that, I'll say hello to Stephanie. Hey, Steph, thank you for joining me in this spooktacular discussion.
Yes, thank you for having me for another spook-worthy episode.
Yes, I think last year was when we did Sleepy Hollow from 1999. That one was fun. And along those same lines, before we jump into our specific topic at hand today, I did want to ask you about your other favorite spooky period dramas.
Yeah, I love spooky movies. I'm not a big horror fan necessarily, but I love like a classic spooky movie. So Sleepy Hollow is a great example of that. I keep thinking that we covered Sweeney Todd as well, but we definitely didn't. I think it's just because we saw it together on Broadway, but um yeah, any of the Tim Burton films are a lot of fun. But one that I love and that I talk to you about constantly is The Shape of Water. I think that is the best movie. It won Best Picture at the Oscars that year. I think it was 2017, maybe. Um, but that movie, it's a great example of a period drama that just like has a tone that is set immediately and that has beautiful imagery, but is also, pretty scary. So that's definitely one of them. And then also Stranger Things. I know this may not be like a typical period drama that you would see on your Instagram and things like that, but it is technically a period
Yeah,
drama.
certainly.
And I don't know, that show feels like a warm hug to me. Like just immediately when you start watching it, it's just so nostalgic for a time that we don't even remember, right? We were born in
Sure.
the 80s, but we don't remember these times. Um, but it's so well done, so well crafted, and just so spooky, like perfectly spooky, and draws from so many great inspirations. So definitely Stranger Things too.
I love what you said about Stranger Things because the warm hug, that nostalgic feeling, sure, it's terrifying at times and devastating. I mean, season four, I'm rewatching as we speak, and it's emotional and
Yes.
traumatic, but there's something about it that just feels like comfort, a comfort series. It's very strange.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. Yeah, it's strange. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's because the characters are so well written and the
Yeah.
actors were so lovable. I think that's a huge part of it. And yeah, just the nostalgia of it all. But yeah, I love a spooky movie that you can rewatch over and over again. That's kind of
Yeah.
like the idea, right? This time of year,
Yeah.
you want to like watch all those old movies that you've seen before. So yeah, I love it. I love this time of year.
Yeah, and I like your mention of Tim Burton, Guillermo del Toro. And are you looking forward to the upcoming Frankenstein?
Oh my gosh, yes. I cannot wait. That one feels very similar to Nosferatu in that I think like the rollout of it feels similar and the
Hmm.
cast, the way that it's just like a stacked cast. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. I think we all love Guillermo so much, right?
Yeah.
But I think like The Shape of Water was the only time that he's won the Oscar for Best Picture, but
Yeah.
it's like, can he do it again with another
Ooh.
sort of like uh not like your standard Oscar winning movie.
Right, right.
So,
We'll see, because there's also just been that talk, that discourse about horror movies in general at the
mhm.
Oscars and should get more recognition. And so the timing might be right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like he and Ari Aster, both big
Hmm.
movies this year. Yeah, there definitely has been a lot of talk of that recently, and it'd be cool to see him and that cast get recognized. Of course, we haven't seen it yet, but I've heard lots of great things, especially
Yeah.
about Jacob Elordi.
I know. Who would have thought? I mean, he's kind of like he's had some great roles. I mean, Saltburn kind of has that twisted dark element. We've seen him as Elvis and Priscilla, and then I
Mhm.
know a lot of people watched Euphoria. I actually never saw that show.
Yeah, he's scary in that. Like
Ah, okay.
it's a very, very dark role. So yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of all we've ever seen him play is like a really
Yeah.
dark, sort of like alpha male types.
Yeah.
So I feel like this might be more vulnerable. But yeah, we'll see.
Ooh, it's gonna be good. And then Mia Goth, of course, is kind of like our, horror queen at the moment. Loved
Mhm.
Pearl, especially. That was so, I loved that movie. And also, we were talking about Sleepy Hollow here. To me, I feel like there's three quintessential 90s nostalgic Halloween period films for me. Okay,
Mhm.
so number one, Interview with the Vampire, 1994.
Yeah.
That one is my favorite. I watch it every year. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, baby Kirsten Dunst. This is my favorite of all time. Second, I would have to say is like Dracula, 1992. Bram
Mhm.
Stoker's Dracula, starring Gary Oldman and Winona Ryder, who is
Mhm.
just one of my favorite actresses. And then third, I would say Sleepy Hollow, 1999.
Nice. I love those choices. I think those
Yeah.
are I mean, yes, the Dracula I think is definitely an obvious choice, but I love that you're not saying like Hocus Pocus, like, you know,
You
no
know?
hate to Hocus Pocus, but there's some really good movies out there, and yeah, I love those. The Bram Stoker's Dracula, I was thinking of a lot while watching Nosferatu, like
Yeah.
rewatching Nosferatu last night, and yeah, what a this is a wild story.
I know. I love it. You see, I put my Dracula book in the background of my bookshelf here because I'm such a fan of this story and the book and this world, the characters. And I also just love the fact that there have been so many adaptations. This is one where I feel like we give it a pass that there are so many adaptations. Like I
Yeah.
know right now we're talking about there's way too many reboots, too many adaptations, but something about this story, it's like it makes sense that it's just done again and again and in different ways.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I've seen all of the adaptations. Well, I know I haven't, but I would assume that they're all quite different.
Yeah, they are. They, take the original characters and do things differently with them, switch up the names.
Mhm,
Nosferatu is set in Germany versus London,
mhm.
and then the fact that Nosferatu has been, it's like a spin-off of Dracula almost, and then it's been adapted three times at least now, three very notable times. So I just find this so fascinating. I don't know. So when we talk through the movie, I may pull in like what I've seen from other adaptations if that's cool.
Of course, yeah, that sounds really cool. I think my dad texted me last night and said he was watching the 1957 Dracula.
Is
I
that one? Oh, that's probably one with Christopher Lee.
maybe, I don't know. It was just random that he said that, and I was like, "Well, I'm watching Nosferatu." So
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, 1958 was Horror of Dracula starring Christopher Lee, and Christopher Lee did 10 sequels as this character, which I think is really interesting. I haven't seen these actually.
oh, I bet that would be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list. So I'll just go through some of the adaptations real fast up front, and then we
Yeah,
can potentially refer to them throughout our episode.
let's do it.
Yeah, so in 1922, we have a silent film, Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror. And this one is very well known, very famous. It starred Max Schreck as Count Orlok, and they didn't get the rights to Dracula. They couldn't use the same name, so that's why you have Count Orlok and you have like the different characters Hutter and Knock instead of, Jonathan Harker and Renfield, that sort of thing, and the character of Ellen instead of Mina. So I think that's fascinating. And then they took it and set it in Germany. So,
Interesting.
yeah,
Do you know where the name Nosferatu comes from? Like, where did that originate?
sure.
Also, update. My dad was watching The Curse of Frankenstein from 1957. I get them mixed up.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so Nosferatu is Romanian for vampire.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
so cool. I was going to look that up last night and I didn't, so thank you for doing that work for me.
No, certainly. And then also what's interesting is Dracula, the book by Bram Stoker thought it meant devil. And so devil, this vampiric character, but Dracula has always also been linked to Vlad the Impaler in
Oh,
history. And so that's why in the 1992 Bram Stoker with Gary Oldman at the beginning, you have that flashback historical scene set in the 15th century, and he's a soldier
mhm.
fighting against the Turks and he's impaling people in battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
yeah. And then that whole Dracula, Son of the Dragon. So you have all these interesting, I mean, we could probably do a whole episode on just like the where the origin of the vampire came from.
Yeah, totally. Also, like how, vampires obviously have had a huge part in pop culture,
Oh, yeah.
through our adolescence with Twilight and everything. And
Yeah.
it's like, people kind of make fun of young girls for like finding these vampires attractive and stuff. But like, hello, look back at the history of these stories, look back at
Yeah.
Dracula, like that's
Yeah.
deep in there.
Oh yeah, we can't ignore that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
there for us.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Steph. And so that silent film, the original Nosferatu, I got to see it in theaters last year around Halloween. And this one person, I can't remember their name, they set the movie to the songs of Radiohead.
Oh my gosh.
And I actually really liked it because I like Radiohead a lot. And I
Mhm.
think they did a pretty good job pairing the film with the music. My husband, on the other hand, didn't love it as much. He would have rather just seen it without the music alongside. But I thought it was a good take, and it's probably drawing in audiences who maybe wouldn't have gone to see it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know that a lot of people would enjoy a silent film these days, but I think that's really cool. I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to do more. It's called Silent Synced, and they're
Mhm.
trying to do more, bringing more musicians, like pairing it with the classic silent film.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah. And then we have 1979, Nosferatu the Vampire, a German film by Werner Herzog.
Mhm.
This got really popular. This one is a 7.4 on IMDb, whereas the 1922 one is a 7.8. So you can see they're all still pretty well rated. And then the one we're going to talk to eventually today, Robert Eggers' film, is 7.2. So again, yeah, all pretty well rated. But this German film starring Klaus Kinski as Count Dracula or Count Orlok, and Isabelle Adjani, the French actress, as Lucy. So in this case, they used the Dracula name Lucy and Mina, but he like switched the protagonist and named, and the main person is Lucy, not Mina, whereas sometimes Lucy is the friend of Mina. It's very strange how they always do something different.
That's weird.
But this one is really, really cinematic and lovely, and it's very 70s vibes, and I recommend this one. And then, as we said, we have the 2024. Now on to Dracula remakes real fast. So 1931, Dracula. This one is not a silent film, even though it's, pretty early on, starring Bela Lugosi as Count Dracula. This is like my favorite. I love it.
Yeah, I've heard so many good things about this one and how much people love it. I haven't seen it, but I definitely need to.
It's streaming for free typically all the time because it's, so old and probably, I don't know, just widely released, but it's a comfort film for me. Like I can put it on. It's not too creepy, but it has some great visuals of like long staircases and the shadow work. And I don't know. This one has my heart. I love it.
I love that. Do you think that is like the biggest inspiration for Robert Eggers' Nosferatu?
No, I think I would say like his is more in line with the Nosferatu. So Nosferatu is usually like more bald with the pointy nose and the pointy
Right.
fingernails. And then the Dracula ones, including this Bela Lugosi one, that really did pave the way for Dracula movies with
Okay.
that accent and sort
Yes.
of like the Black Widow's peak and the cape.
The cape, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm seeing it now. I know I've seen pictures of the Bela Lugosi version, so yeah, that's making
Yeah.
more sense. But when you said like shadow work, I was like maybe like
Well, yeah.
visually, like the cinematography. I don't know.
No, no. So you are so right. The shadow work in all of them are just top notch. So the 1922 silent film and this one. So I think you're right in that the cinematography for this 2024 film has been based on the older versions, be it Nosferatu or Dracula.
Okay, love that.
And also, I feel like, what is it? The Count in Sesame Street was definitely like Bela Lugosi.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was like my first thought when you were describing like older Dracula. Yeah, definitely the Count.
Yes. Then, as I said before, there was some Christopher Lee films of him being Dracula that are quite popular in the 70s. It's actually as early as 58. Bram Stoker's Dracula 1992. This one's a 7.4, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, so popular and well known. And I've always found it interesting that they have the name Bram Stoker in the title, but then it's like definitely deviates a little bit from the novel, a little
Mhm.
more eccentric, a little more playing into the sexual undertones.
Right, big time. Yeah.
Big time. Yeah, maybe not a little, big time. But you and I think, have talked about the costuming in that one before.
Yeah. Yeah, the costumes are incredible. The wigs are incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, visually, it's definitely a very stunning film.
Yeah. And the costume designer who won the Oscar that year, Iko Ishioka, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, she drew on Japanese fashion for that movie, and I think it's really cool.
Oh, that's really neat. Yeah.
Yeah. A few more Draculas just to mention. There's a 2013, 2014 series, one season only, 10 episodes, starring, get this, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. Did you know about this?
I feel like I had to have known because I was so obsessed with him at one point.
Yeah.
So, like the Tumblr days, I was very into Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, but I don't know, I can't like visualize it. I definitely haven't seen it.
This one's also usually streaming free, so you can probably find it somewhere, whether it's Tubi or, Freevee, those types of apps. But I like this one because how could you not like our guy, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, being dark and mysterious? And
Mhm.
then the rest of the cast is very like period drama heavy. So Jessica DeGao, Katie McGrath, Oliver Jackson Cohen, who you may know from some films lately and some series like Bly Manor and the Emily movie. I don't know. I also like because they take from the Gary Oldman Dracula, where they play on that like historical love
Mhm.
scenario, but then now in this time, a newer time period, they find each other, but like they were lovers in the past kind of thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So that's good. And then two more. Dracula 2020. There's a three-part miniseries on Netflix. Someone recommended this to me, and I kind of dug it. It was like kind of cheeky, kind of like funny and satirical, maybe. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then Dracula: A Love Tale from 2025 this year was just recommended to me by an Instagram follower. I haven't seen it yet, but I wanted to throw that out there. She said it became her favorite Dracula, so
Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah, but gosh, there really are so many adaptations. And I also have to throw out for my fellow SpongeBob kids the Nosferatu call out in SpongeBob. Literally, probably the only reason I had heard of Nosferatu as a kid. So,
tell me
um,
more.
oh, it's just like a dumb little joke. Like the lights are flicking off at one point, and they all say Nosferatu, and then it pans over to like the silent version or the silent movie version of Nosferatu, and he's like turning off the lights.
What?
And it's just like a
That's
really dumb
funny.
little moment that's classic SpongeBob, and, I saw that circulating a lot when this Nosferatu came out.
Oh, that's so funny. I, for some reason, never watched the show, but I know so many people like our age and a bit younger, like my siblings, loved it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it raised me. I love
Oh,
SpongeBob. But,
that's
yeah, that's just a fun little call out that I think a lot of us think about.
that's too funny. Well, yes, definitely worth mentioning here if it's kind of a pop culture moment, like you said, like
Yeah.
that, Sesame Street. I mean, there's so many. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there's probably so many that we're not thinking of, but yeah, it's crazy how this character is like loved by by our society for some reason.
for some reason. I know, creature of the night, the dark, I don't know, hidden yearnings within. I mean, there's just there's a lot to to dig into with
Mhm.
this story. So now we will come to our 2024 adaptation of Nosferatu. Here we go. So Robert Eggers came out with this Nosferatu last year. I think it hit in December, hit theaters in December time, or Christmas time.
I think so, yeah. That sounds familiar.
And it did get some award buzz
Mhm.
for that season, including four Oscar nominations: costume design by Lyndon Weir, makeup and hairstyling, cinematography, and production design. And I think you and I were rooting for the costume design a bit with this one.
Yeah, yeah. It's I mean, the costumes were very elaborate and well done. This is not a very flattering time period for women.
Yeah.
The costumes are not pretty, but I thought it was well done. And yeah, and I think everybody was happy that this film got some recognition because it was so well made. And like we were talking about earlier, horror films aren't always recognized. So I feel like
Mhm.
that was a cool moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe paving the way for more recognition there.
Yeah.
So good point.
Also, worth pointing out, I was just reading about these people who did these parts of the film, production design, cinematography, costume design. They work pretty much exclusively with Robert Eggers.
Wow.
Like he works with the same people for all of those things, and those people, it doesn't seem like they do a ton of work outside of his movies. They have,
Hmm.
of course, done other work, but no like other big projects. And I
Hmm.
found that really interesting.
I noticed that with the costume design. Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that it was similar with like some of the other like art and set and production. That is interesting. But
Yeah.
maybe I wonder if they like want to stay together to have this very specific look and feel to his movies that I don't know.
Yeah, like I wonder if they just stay collaborating and working on one project at a time with him
Yeah,
or what, but it's kind of weird to think about that, like being so loyal to one director
I know.
and kind of carving your life around that. I can understand how you would need to, especially making these films that are practical and that film, in crazy locations, but I don't know, it's
Hmm.
just kind of different.
Yeah, and like using natural lighting is such a big element. Mm.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like the way the movie starts. It even starts with some vintage title logos. So instantly for me, I'm like, yes, I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah, in the trailer too. I know like this was an example of an excellent trailer that like got us really like excited about the film. And the film like it gave us what we saw in the trailer. You know what I mean? Like it didn't
Yeah.
disappoint. It started off exactly how you expected it to.
Yeah. And I feel like this is very much a horror film, whereas sometimes the Draculas really blend into more of like romantic dramas, or I don't know, there's even some comedy horror of Dracula. Like there's that Renfield movie with Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult from
Oh
recent.
my gosh, I forgot about that.
Which is funny because Nicholas Hoult is one of the stars of this movie.
Mhm,
And let's talk about the cast a bit. So, okay, Nicholas Hoult to start off, definitely in a lot of period films and period
mhm.
series like The Great on Hulu, always brings some comedic aspects to it. This was just like down and dirty drama, though. I don't think there was any comedy.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, you certainly could laugh at some parts of it. I guess maybe the Count Orlok
Yeah,
scene. But yeah, Nicholas Hoult, what a great actor and what a different actor. Yeah, a lot of great natural faces in this movie, which we love. We talk about
yes,
iPhone face a lot. These are definitely some unique looking people that I love. And yeah, Nicholas Hoult, I think he's one of the good ones of our time for sure.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. He's a scene stealer when he's in movies and TV shows, and yeah, rooting for him in future projects. Then we have Lily Rose Depp as our heroine. And it's interesting because you mentioned the iPhone face. What? I think she does do this. She fits in this time period. She's done other period settings. She's almost borderline iPhone face for me. Do you see what I mean? I don't know.
I do. Yeah, I think just because she looks like a model and I think we've seen her play a lot of like modern people, maybe. But yeah, I get what you mean. This role was originally supposed to be played by Anya Taylor-Joy, who,
Ah,
also
mm,
is kind of borderline, but is very unique looking.
yeah.
So that would have been interesting to see. I don't know if she would have been crazy enough though. Like Lily
Mm-hmm.
really goes for it in this.
She
Like
does. She does.
I know
Yeah.
some people like say maybe there's some overacting involved. I don't agree at all. I think this movie is perfect in how dramatic it is.
Yeah. No, she gave it her all. It's clear. And I think she does look like her. She looks like her mother, I think.
She does, yeah. She's a carbon copy of her. But also, when she cries or sometimes when she's acting, she reminds me so much of Natalie Portman. They look so much alike. And they played
Oh,
sisters in a movie. I think it was
no
called
way.
Planetarium back when
Oh,
she was a teenager. And so I just always think of Natalie Portman when she like cries.
that's so funny. I could see Natalie Portman doing like a Mina character in a Dracula adaptation for sure. Her crying face. I remember there was like a Tumblr or some kind of website of just crying face Natalie Portman.
She's so expressive. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
we have to love these expressive women because I think less and less we're going to we're going to see more like frozen face women
Hmm.
unfortunately these days, but yeah, women who really give us a good cry. We got to love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and Black Swan I know is one of our favorites too, which
Yeah,
is oh,
we love that movie. We should make an exception to cover that one.
I would be up for that for sure. That might just have to happen. And yeah, so Lily Rose Depp, just to kind of close that out. So her mother, Vanessa Paradis, the French model, father, Johnny Depp, but she's making a name for herself in her own right. I think she's really, I don't think of her as Johnny Depp's daughter very much anymore. She's been in a lot of things. She's proving that she has the acting chops. And yeah, I don't think of her as iPhone face in this. Really, it's just almost like she's so pretty and so model-like, as you said, that it's almost. I see what you mean by that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really surprised by her. I watched a lot of press for this movie before it came out, and she's just so like down to earth and normal with, her upbringing and with everything that's gone on during her life.
Yeah.
You would expect her to be kind of like, I don't know, and just I guess strange, but she just seems so normal and so California in the way that she talks and like um, yeah, she worked hard for this movie. I know she did.
Good.
So I think her performance is great.
Very nice. Yeah. Okay. I'm in agreement. And then we have Emma Corrin. So we love Emma. Been in so many period films and series. The Crown, of course. You can't not think about Emma Corrin in The Crown
Hmm.
as Lady Di. And then upcoming Pride and Prejudice, Elizabeth Bennet. That will be interesting. But I think Emma Corrin can pull it off.
Yeah, I think Emma can do anything. They're such a cool person and such a cool actor.
Hmm.
And yeah, again, I don't know that they fit in with this time period either so much,
Okay.
but I
Yeah.
didn't even care because
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird to see Emma play like a supporting role,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
a minor role when we like know them to be such a big star.
Yeah.
But I guess it was needed because
Yeah.
we needed to feel something,
Yeah.
when this character sort of has everything happen to them.
There you go. Yeah. No, totally in agreement there. And then we have another period drama regular, Aaron Taylor Johnson. So most notably Vronsky in Anna Karenina 2012 with Keira Knightley, but then tons of other things. I mean, I think you and I saw the one where he played John Lennon like ages ago together.
Yeah, that was probably like my introduction to him. Well, that and Kick-Ass,
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
movie. I think they came out sort of close together, but yeah, I mean, what I always thought of him as a very, very gifted actor. If we can talk about how we feel about him in this movie,
Sure.
because I'm not sure I loved him so much, but yeah, that John Lennon movie, we loved that,
Oh
but
yeah.
also, you know, he married the director later on who was twice his age, and There is a lot
Yeah.
to say about that, but
I know. It's kind of like that's kind of followed his career, I think.
yeah, unfortunately.
Then we have Willem Dafoe. Brilliant. Just brilliant.
Yeah, most prolific actor ever.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think he has like 7 credits on IMDb for 2025 alone. Like
That's insane.
he's in everything. I don't know how he does it, but he seems so energetic. Um, he's one of the coolest actors ever.
I think definitely gonna win an Oscar one day, hopefully.
Yeah, how has he not?
I know. I mean, sometimes he's in more supporting character roles, I would say. So
Yeah,
that can be overlooked. I also think it's interesting, seems to be a favorite amongst very stylistic directors. So Robert
yeah,
Eggers, Guillermo del Toro, Yorgos Lanthimos, and Wes Anderson, even.
right. Yeah, those aesthetic directors, right? Because he has that face. He has this
Yeah.
incredible face.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. I guess he is more of a character actor.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've never really thought of him as one, but he totally is.
I think so. And they can be overlooked. Like Claude Rains is one of my favorite actors of all times from Casablanca and now
Mm.
Voyager, and just always overshadowed by, your leading men in old Hollywood. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah,
Hmm.
he's really fun in this.
Yeah, loved him. And I almost for a second was like, wait, is he in Frankenstein? I like pictured him in Frankenstein, and then I looked back, I was like, no, he's not in Frankenstein, the upcoming one.
Yeah, he was in Poor Things, which is kind of like a Frankenstein of a woman.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, I kind of was thinking that too.
Too funny. And then, okay, our star horror actor.
So yes, we have Count Orlok, played by the wonderful Bill Skarsgård. Someone I have been obsessed with for quite some time. Again, the Tumblr days. I used to be on Bill Skarsgård Tumblr. I think it was it that got me into him, which, what does that say about me? I don't know.
Normal. It's totally normal stuff.
Totally don't me. Okay, cool. We love Bill Skarsgård. He's, I think, proven himself to make really cool choices and be a fantastic actor. And this role is wild.
Yeah, he goes there, kind of like,
He
yeah,
Yeah, he really goes there. And the voice is so cool. And the fact that it was him and he
yeah.
worked so hard to get that voice, love that. And the fact that he is willing to kind of time and time again make himself so disgusting. You gotta love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a favorite Skarsgård? I wanted to ask.
Yeah, I mean, the father.
Yeah, I knew you would say
What's his name? What
Stellan.
is it? Stellan, Stellan.
Stellan.
I'm sorry, I'm just bad with names right now. But yeah, Stellan Skarsgård. I think he's also someone who gets overlooked at times with a prolific career in film.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm thinking his time is almost coming because I know he's in that movie with Elle Fanning and gosh,
Yes, I'm forgetting the name too.
Sentimental Value.
Yes, yeah.
And, Luthen in Andor series he so deserved some Emmy, Golden Globe love there. And,
Yeah. Oh my
oh my
gosh.
goodness.
He Oh my gosh, yeah. In those final episodes, he was like out of this world, incredible in that show. And that character too, just like such a pivotal character in the world of Star Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love Stellan. He's been in everything,
he
like from
has.
Mamma Mia to Marvel movies to, everything that he's
Dune.
Dune, oh my gosh, yeah, the Harkonnen in Dune. I was thinking about his voice and Bill's voice and like
Uh,
how like they both, had to find these like really disgusting characters with crazy voices.
yeah,
I think that's so cool. They're
I
just a
know.
cool family. And like
Seriously.
Alex has played some really
Yeah,
creepy characters too, but he's never quite done, like this.
I know.
But and I think Gustav has played some kind of scary characters too. But yeah, what a bunch! I love them so much.
Yeah, we could talk about them for days. One other Stellan role that is worth mentioning for my followers because they love the movie, 2015 Cinderella.
Oh
He's
yeah.
yeah, he also sometimes takes a back seat. He's in the supporting roles, he's in the
Mhm.
that. And then another note on Bill. is that he was in Anna in a 2012 very minor role, just like a soldier with Vronsky's regiment, but uh, he, the two actors must have met on the the set or were friends. I don't know.
That's right. I'm glad you mentioned that. I kind of forgot about that. But yeah, he's done little bits here and there, and I think understandably kind of gets pulled into these creepier roles. He's a beautiful man, but he's very distinct looking and very tall and all
Yeah.
of that. So I imagine, um, it's been a difficult thing to navigate, but I think he's found a cool place for him.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And the voice, you mentioned the voice because it is a very dark movie, natural lighting, so a lot of nighttime scenes, a lot of dark lighting. So you don't even see him all the time. You just hear his voice.
Mhm.
And wow, just alone, just the voice acting. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It like made me want to use my inhaler after I saw it in the movie theaters because of the breathing, like
Yeah, the
the
raspy.
disgusting breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, he's definitely one of those that gets the sickos, yearning for these creepy characters.
Oh my gosh, too funny. So let's go through the movie a bit. We won't hit all the scenes, but we'll hit the pivotal scenes. I mean, we got to talk about how the way the movie starts with Lily Rose Depp crying, pleading in the darkness, come to me, my guardian angel. And we do eventually learn that this is more of like a younger her scene when she first makes a connection with this dark entity, however you want to characterize it.
Mhm.
And you hear a voice whisper back that you've awakened me from eternal darkness. You're not for the living and shall be with me ever eternally. And she swears herself to him. She's floating in front of the open window. We see the shadow on the curtain. And then she's laying outside in the grass, an invisible force upon her. And what a good opening scene, though. Pulls you in.
Oh yeah, it's so good. You get a lot in that opening scene. Like you get a glimpse of Count Orlok and how scary he is. You get her, convulsing, which we see a
Oh,
lot in this movie,
yeah.
basically being possessed by this entity, as you said. And yeah, it's like so powerful and the music and everything. It's a great opening.
It is. And then it says years later, no particular amount of years. I like how it's just kind of ambiguous there. Ellen wakes up from a bad dream. Her husband, Thomas Hutter, played by Nicholas Hoult, is there with her. And we learn they've just been on honeymoon and they're going to be sending him away. Like she's already dreading this. She knows what's going to happen because actually later in the movie we do learn more that she's always been able to sense things and kind of know what's happening even if it's not as obvious to a regular human.
Hmm.
So I thought that was good. That was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to think about it that way. Because she's being very dramatic when
Yeah.
he, is going to leave, and you're kind of like, okay, this is a lot, but she knows or she senses what is going to happen. Maybe not quite what's going to happen, but um, she knows he's going to come to her probably, and
Hmm.
yeah, doesn't want to be left alone, and we don't blame her as the movie unfolds.
Yeah. And then it tells us the setting that we're in. So Wisburg, Germany, 1838. Very cool setting with the river running through the middle of the town. This is also in the 1922 silent film.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so it reminded me a lot of that. And this is, worth mentioning that Dracula movies are usually set in London, Nosferatu usually set in Germany. So that's a good distinction, the setting.
Yeah, that makes sense. Got to
Yeah.
get closer to Romania, I guess.
There you go. So sometimes when the travel scenes make a little more sense if you're in Germany. And then we have Thomas Hutter going to his employer, Knox and Associates, and I want to call out this actor, Simon McBurney plays Knock. And you and I have talked about him in The Duchess as Mr.
Mhm.
Fox. I don't even know if we like called out his name specifically, but this is him.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but yeah, what a great actor. Definitely, again, he really goes for it in this movie. He has to do some nasty stuff. And he's fully possessed in this film, but you don't suspect it right away, so that's kind of cool.
No, I do like that little scene at one point where it shows him doing sort of like a ritual type thing. That's
Yeah.
that was unusual for a Dracula Nosferatu one. I mean, you always have this henchman of sorts, whether it's
Mm.
Knox or Renfield, and he has a connection with the Dracula character. He wants to just be his servant, his loyal servant, prove he's loyal. I think maybe he eventually feels like he's going to become an eternal, immortal being. So
Yeah.
he's working towards that, and he likes to eat bugs and birds and spiders and
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah. It's not good. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I had forgotten, I guess, how like disgusting and grotesque this movie is. And I'm not squeamish. I don't mind blood and stuff like that, but this movie is nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of it is his parts.
Yeah. He's a good actor. His voice also, I think, is very familiar. Like when you hear his voice, you're like, oh, I've seen this actor in something. Also, I wanted to say Mr. Brocklehurst in Jane Eyre 2011. So he always plays
Oh.
like side roles too.
Another great period drama face, though, truly.
Yes. Oh, yes. Love it. Another quick detail that's in Nosferatu is, the manor, of course, is going to be a German manor that the Dracula character is trying to get a deed for and residence, set up residence in. So Grunwald Manor, whereas in Dracula, it's usually Carfax Abbey, which sounds a bit more British. So, um, then you know that Nicholas Holt's character, Hutter, is like, damn, I have to go away from my wife. He brings her flowers, the lilac flowers. And that scene of her in that pretty green dress holding the bouquet of lilac in front of her, there's a lot of bridal imagery throughout the movie leading up
Mhm.
to sort of that climactic end scene. And I thought that was kind of a cool touch.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I hadn't really thought of that, but yeah, when we get to the end and we see her in her bridal garb,
Hmm.
yeah, I thought of that. I was like, oh, okay, this
Yeah.
this makes sense. But yeah, I think in this early part, Nicholas Holt is so good at being scared and like,
Yeah.
he doesn't want to be doing this, but I don't know, he's really great at having like nervous energy.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, can you think these poor people in non-modern times having to travel when they just didn't even know where they were going and no good
Yeah,
source of communication? Oh,
6 weeks journey.
gosh. And I thought it was funny because Knock and then his friend, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, are calling it an adventure. So, they're trying to pump him up probably or just be idealistic about it. But like, yeah, he's scared and reasonably so.
Yeah. And so is she. So is Ellen.
Yeah.
She, is pretty dramatic in her talk of the flowers, how they're just going to
Yes.
die. And yeah, a
Yes.
lot of foreshadowing there, I guess.
Lots of foreshadowing, and then she says, "It pretends something awful for us. You mustn't leave."
Yeah.
She knows that this is just bad. What lies before them is not good. And it shows, then we get to see a bit of Aaron Taylor Johnson's life with his wife, played by Emma Corrin. They have two children. And yeah, so it seems like Thomas Hutter, Nicholas Holt's character, wants their life. He wants to get money from this journey and this job and set himself up like his friend. And so you do see like the motivation there to leave his wife on this job.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. I think, yeah, he probably just wants to be like normal, but
Yeah.
I guess the second he met Ellen, like his life was not destined to be normal.
Seriously. But then, we do hear Ellen later talk about how she found peace when she met him. So you're kind of like, oh, so she was happy, but then these bad dreams just started happening again and pulling her
Yeah.
back in. Very sad.
Yeah. It's like it was all destined to happen. Like
Hmm.
there's no questioning like what if he hadn't gone? What if he hadn't taken this job? Well, that just never would have happened. Like this is how it was supposed to unfold. They're just
Yeah.
cursed.
They're cursed. They use the words providence, destiny a lot. Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
And then we have the journey to this foreign land. And this is always an iconic scene in these Dracula Nosferatu films. Sometimes this is where the movie starts out. with
Mm,
someone traveling to meet Dracula. And this one, I like the way they gave us more like upfront storylines and character building. Then he goes on his journey and his horse gets taken from him. He's definitely spooked by the Romani people that he encounters. I mean, they steal his horse, right?
yeah. That whole scene is so crazy. And I think it does build up the spookiness and like his sort of desperation really well. But also we see like how they feel about this man that he's meeting. He has no idea, who this man is, and now he knows like what this is, some sort of supernatural being or something. Like what's
Oh
going on
yeah.
here?
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Yeah, it's very like ominous.
Yeah. Yeah, and also like the dreams too, right? Like he wakes up after seeing this weird scene of them bringing this person out of a grave, and then he's got mud on his boots, so it's like, did it happen? Did it not
I
happen?
know. Yeah, that's a common occurrence in this movie where the dream, it almost seems like it does really happen, but of course it's ambiguous. You don't know. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
very creepy. Very creepy. And he goes on his journey by foot because the horse was stolen. He sees the carriage, and this is typical in these films where and in the Dracula story where he's supposed to eventually meet up with a carriage to take him on the final leg of his journey to the castle. Sometimes it's a driverless carriage, sometimes it's a mysterious driver who we will eventually learn actually was like Dracula, like in disguise. There's always just something different. This seems driverless. I was trying to like,
Yeah, yeah. This whole forest sequence is really cool. It might be my favorite part
yeah,
of the movie.
yeah,
It's just so cool the way it's shot. Yeah, the spookiness of it. And yes, the carriage, like you see the horses like rear up on him in like slow motion almost.
mm-hmm,
And then, everywhere he looks, it's like the carriage is there in like different different parts of the
yeah,
road. It's so spooky and strange. And then yeah, the door just like slowly
yeah,
opens, and yeah, we don't see another person. So,
no.
yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know about like that mythology within the story.
Yes. And can you imagine getting into a carriage like that? Like, how spooky. Like, oh my gosh. And he does a
Yeah.
good job of portraying that like fear in the carriage. There's like wolves, chasing the carriage. There's usually like wolves howling in these scenes. I do have to say, in the 1931 Dracula, it's actually a Renfield character who goes to visit Dracula, and it's set in the 1930s. It's a very 30s gangster. He's like, "Hey, driver." I don't know. It just makes me laugh. So I love these carriage scenes leading up to the castle. And the spookiness continues. He gets in there, he meets Dracula. I mean, what a great way to be like, oh yeah, it's midnight, the servants are all gone. This guy doesn't have any servants.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's so creepy. Oh, and
Yeah.
again, like he's just so good at being scared and like looking around and observing everything
Mhm.
around him. And then, oh my gosh, yeah, we get the reveal of Count Orlok and what a crazy looking person he is. And
So
again,
crazy.
just the way that he like appears everywhere,
Yep.
without like moving there is, oh, it's so creepy.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, and the shadows and like in I have to call the 1992 Dracula with Gary Oldman, the shadows always like moving independently from the himself. Like
Mhm.
I just love shadow work in Dracula movies.
I do too. I was wondering this whole time, like watching this, I was like, was this all done practically? I'm assuming it was,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
I don't know how they do it. It's
I
so
don't
cool. And
know.
when this came out in theaters, there were a lot of people on TikTok like playing with the shadows and like doing the hand.
That's fun.
It was really funny. There were a lot of really funny videos around that time. But
Yeah.
yeah, the handwork by Bill
Yes.
Skarsgård is so good.
Oh my gosh. It's so, yeah, because you think Dracula's always reaching out to grasp the neck of his victim, something like that.
Mhm.
Also, always on the lookout for blood. So we get Thomas Hutter cutting his finger.
Yeah, the close up on Bill Skarsgård's eyes. Oh, so creepy.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Sometimes in these movies, it's like an envelope cutter that gets them,
Mhm.
or I think Jonathan Harker played by Keanu Reeves, is shaving and cuts himself.
Oh no, yeah.
Can we just say whoever cast Keanu with the British accent in that movie? Oh gosh.
I love it. Personally, I
No,
love
love him, love him, love him. But it's just
it.
so funny. The British accent of him and Winona get me every time.
I know. Yeah. It's like, that's probably why we get so many British actors playing Americans now. It's like payback for those 90s years.
That's so funny. It really, yeah, happened a lot in the 90s. That being said, I love that movie and everything about it. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, this movie, it's all British people and an American, playing German people, which makes no sense. So,
yeah,
there you go.
there you
The only
go.
person who actually does an accent is Bill. So thank you, Bill.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, so good. Also at the castle, Count Orlok is supposed to be signing the deeds to his new residence, but there's a little bit of a switch up here, which I think is perhaps unique to this adaptation, where he's getting Thomas to sign over his wife to him, something like that, which
Oh,
I think,
wow. I didn't even catch that.
yeah. So I think that, it's like the deed has changed to his native language, and I think he mentions that or something.
Okay. Yeah.
And Thomas seems a little hesitant to sign. And then later, when in the story, in the movie, when Count Orlok is talking to Ellen, he's like, your husband gave you up for a bag of gold.
Oh, okay. That's right. That's crazy. Why did I not catch that? But
It's
also,
different. It's subtle.
he gives him like wine or something too, like in the very beginning when he sits at that table, and then he becomes like sick and disoriented. So
Mm,
I'm assuming he like poisoned him maybe a little bit to get him to go along with this, but
yeah.
that that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally. He is, once he enters his house, he is doomed.
Yeah.
He is so doomed. And yeah, so I think that was kind of an interesting touch to this movie that differs from some of the other adaptations, which I kind of think is interesting. Like a lot of times Dracula is trying to get to London or Germany to take over, you know, the modern world, whereas here he is really trying to make his way to Ellen, and stealing the locket of her was very
Hmm.
interesting. Also, he just says lilac at some point, and I think that was a reference to the fact that something with lilacs and her earlier in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're also present at the end of the movie too. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but
Yeah. But I think that Thomas is a little, he hears that he's maybe a little spooked because he knows like his wife was being very dramatic and scared, and then like maybe this guy is after her with the reference of the flowers and then stealing the locket. So, yeah, he it doesn't take him long, I think, to realize like my wife was right.
mhm.
He's after her and I got to get home to her. Of course, he's being kept there. He's being fed upon. And he tries to kill Orlok, it seems, in his coffin. That fails miserably.
Yeah, that's when we get the full body shot of Count Orlok,
Yeah.
which is a little shocking. Yeah, he's going through it at this
Oh my
castle. And we have to talk about the sound of Count Orlok feeding on
God.
Thomas.
Ooh,
It's nasty.
it is. It
The
goes there.
sound in this movie is really, really intense. It was definitely great to see in movie theaters. It was made for theaters because of the sound and the imagery, right?
Yeah.
It was just crazy. But a lot of people talk about that sound, like in the letterbox reviews and stuff. Like, that I think that haunts a lot of us.
Ooh, yeah. Sounds can like stick with you. Visuals stick with me. So
Mhm.
sometimes I'm like, but you know what? I think I've told you this before when we were talking with Sunny in the Gilded Age. If it's like a human medical type bloody scene in a movie or show, I'm actually worse with that. When it's like a monster type thing, I'm not as bad. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes total sense to me. Yeah, I feel that.
I don't know. So, but yeah, you're so right to call that out. And he tries to escape. He eventually does jump into the river to
Hmm.
escape, which, that was his only option. He was not going to get out of that castle otherwise.
Yeah. You know what's so funny? Last night when I was rewatching it and he did that when he like basically falls off of the side of this castle, I was like, "Oh no, he had to die. Did he die?" And then I'm like, "Girl, no. Like you've seen this. He doesn't die." But that
Somehow.
looks like a far drop.
Yeah, but I guess it's the only way out. Like, I think if I were, having to choose between living in that awful castle with the blood-eating, sucking monster, I would take the river, my chances with the river.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. It's crazy that he is able to escape, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like fully possessed like Knock yet. He's still
Yeah.
has like some part of his conscience and
Yeah.
his desire to go back to his wife.
Yeah. And sometimes it takes like a long recovery. I'm thinking of Keanu Reeves's hair turning really gray in the 92 movie. And meanwhile, back in Germany, we have our character Ellen saying he's coming for me. Like she knows now this is happening. She hasn't received letters from her husband. She's having the convulsions and the terrors, the fits at nightfall. So she's full height of her premonitions right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's not easy to see her having these fits. Um, and then, Aaron Taylor Johnson is just like, oh, she's ruining everything. Get her out of here, which is sort of understandable.
It is because he has two
Yeah,
kids. He has two kids, one on the
right.
way.
Right. So it is understandable to want to protect your family, but he's not the most likable. And then Emma Corrin's character is like, please, I love her. She's my friend. We have to do something. And the doctor isn't really doing much, isn't helping much at
Gosh.
all. And so
No.
he enlists the help of this professor.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, modern medicine doesn't seem to be working. He also is like, okay, so he says she's sleepwalking, somnambulism, which is an interesting phrase. Too
Hmm.
much blood. Advises her to sleep in a corset for posture,
Yeah.
which is like, oh yeah, that's great. Let's put some leeches on her as well. Anyways, he calls in Dr. Franz to shorten his name a little bit, and that's our Willem Dafoe character who we learn is into the occult and the mystic forces. And of course, that's against the grain. So people are not going to like this guy. He may be smart, but they're not going to like him. This is the Van Helsing character from the book and other movies of Dracula.
Oh, I love that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little bit woo-woo with his thinking, and he's been like banished from the school that he taught at or something along those lines. So yeah, but he believes her and he wants to see what's going on here, and he's the only one who really does help. But the doctor, I think it's cool that the doctor like works with him and
That's
trusts
true.
him. So it's the doctor isn't like you know, fully useless.
No, and I didn't look him up. He looks familiar too, and his voice sounds familiar. I'm sure he's been in stuff.
Oh yeah, he's been in lots of stuff. I forget his name too. Um, but yeah, he's been in lots of cool stuff. I think he played Galactus in Fantastic Four.
Good period face as well.
Yeah, he's definitely a cool actor. Ralph Ineson
Okay.
is who plays the Doctor. And yes, he was most recently Galactus in Fantastic Four, which is
Ooh.
fun. He was also in The Witch.
Oh, yes. Okay. With
So,
Robert Eggers' film with Anya Taylor-Joy. That's a good
yeah.
one. I really like that one. I love folk type horror.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like The Village.
Like The Village. Oh yeah, I'm with it. And then there's this movie I watched recently called The Ritual, and it's in Sweden and it has Thomas Barrow, the actor who plays,
Oh,
but it's modern time. It's not a period film, but it has some folk horror in Sweden, and I liked that one too. So
nice.
yeah, that's
Love
like a
that.
genre that's kind of a little subset, I would say, of horror that I like.
Yeah, I agree. I like that too.
Yeah. I guess Midsommar could even fall into that category.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, totally.
That's that's a crazy one. All
Hmm.
right. So then we usually have like a ship scene where Dracula or Orlok is coming over to the modern world, and he usually feeds on the men of the ship, and people attribute it to plague and disease when in fact it's our monster feeding on the characters. They don't do too many scenes of the ship in this one, and it is at the hour mark. So sometimes Dracula he's already in London by then or Germany by then. So they they probably couldn't spend too much time on the ship scenes. My favorite is the 1931 Dracula with Renfield on the ship cackling as people are like discovering what's going on with the ship. And there's a shot of him looking up when they find him and he's gone crazy and mad. And this, I don't know, it's one of my favorite things. And apparently, Nicholas Hoult mimicked that scene in the Renfield movie, which I still haven't seen, but I don't know.
Love that. That's
Thought I'd,
cool.
yeah, thought I'd throw that in there. Okay. And they did do a good connection with Aaron Taylor Johnson's character having like the ship business. I thought that was a
Mhm.
smart choice.
Yeah, I agree because he got to see the destruction and the plague, and of course, they're blaming these poor rats.
I know.
um, but yeah, I thought that was cool too, and that scene is so creepy, like all of the ship, the shipwreck, I guess, and
Hmm.
all the rats.
Yes, and the rats take over the city, plague. This is in the other Nosferatu films. And that's really what they believe is afflicting the character of Anne, Anne Harding, Aaron Taylor Johnson's character's wife. Oh, and his name is Friedrich in this. That's a great name. And
Mhm.
the poor little girls, they think that the plague is happening to them, not Orlok happening to them.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very sad that that Anna falls victim to this. But we see that scene of her. She was in bed with Ellen, right? And then when Ellen wakes up, she sees that she's got rats all over her, and so of course it's the plague. Of course, that's what's causing all this. But yeah, it's so sad. So sad.
It
And Aaron Taylor
is.
Johnson, understandably, is like distraught, and he's like, "You have to leave, girl. Get
I
out of here."
know. Yeah. Because eventually Thomas arrives home safely to Ellen and says that she's right. Orlok has your locket. He's coming for you. But
Mhm.
still, of course, there's this resistance to the idea of what's actually happening for Friedrich. I mean, yeah, it is kind of understandable.
Yeah, so we were talking about Aaron Taylor Johnson earlier, and he was such a gifted young actor, and he, still is loved and is a great actor, but there's just something off about him in this movie, and I don't know what it is. I just don't really believe him,
Yeah.
you know? And he's got some big scenes here. I mean, he loses his entire family, and he's not a happy character at any point in the movie, but well, yeah, I guess he is in the early parts. But I don't know. I just didn't believe him at all.
Yeah.
And there's just something about his voice, and I don't know. I couldn't like put my finger on it, but I just didn't love him in this role.
Like you think it was more like surface level acting versus the deep giving himself into it acting, maybe.
Yeah, I do think so. And I
I get
do
it.
wonder, like, what if there's like a less conventionally attractive actor who's like, maybe a little bit better actor? I don't know.
I
I
know, I
hate
get
to say
you.
that.
I get
I'm
you.
not trying to hate on him, but I don't know. I just wonder. I know Bill Skarsgård originally was supposed to play this character.
Oh gosh.
I
He
in
deserved Orlock.
right. But yeah, in interviews, I think like in the very, very early days, that's
Okay.
what he read for. That's what he wanted. And then eventually he became Orlok. But I just wonder if like, a different character or a different actor played the character, if it would have been a little more impactful.
I get you. I get you. And you know what? I'm not a fan of him as Vronsky in Anna Karenina. I
Okay.
think I also I do like that movie. I have a love-hate relationship with that movie where sometimes I'm like into it and I love the music, the costumes. I love Kira.
Mhm.
I think someone else could have been Vronsky
Oh
too.
yeah.
I
He
do.
was so young then too. I mean, we have to remember he's a young actor. He's younger than
Yeah,
us. Early 30s, and I think he's been given roles that were more mature than he was,
I get
maybe.
you.
And also
Yeah.
he does have such a like conventionally attractive modern face too.
Hmm.
And I think the great thing about a lot of British actors is that they don't necessarily have that. They
Yeah.
have unique faces, like a Benedict Cumberbatch or something. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good point. I see where you're going there. Yeah, I mean, he's been considered as James Bond many times before, which I think is interesting.
Right. Yeah. I think he's like top of that list, to be
Yeah.
honest. And that I could see. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas like him playing a character like this doesn't make so much sense to me. I always want to cast Dev Patel in
Yeah.
everything, right? We all
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But someone like that who like acts from their heart and
I get it.
like you would feel for him when he's like in that tomb with his family and all that. Whereas with Aaron Taylor Johnson, I was just like, "Mm, okay."
Yeah, it felt like a kind of a rushed scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that being said, I could see, yeah, Dev Patel or another actor who, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Steph.
Yeah.
But, I think we're on board with most of the other casting choices for this one. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think the rest of it was great and they were all like unique looking and all of that. I just think an aesthetic movie like this needs
Mm.
interesting actors. Like a Robert Pattinson, right? Like he was in
The
the Lighthouse.
lighthouse,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like just think of like interesting
I get
faces
it.
like that, people who are really, really great actors with that interesting look. That's what fits in this movie, not so much Aaron Taylor Johnson. But no
Yeah.
hate. Sorry, Aaron. I do love you.
No, I think it's good to have these conversations and like share our opinions and insights. So I'm with you, Steph. I'm with you. We talked a bit about the costume design by Linda Muir, and these bonnets are scene-stealing, show-stopping costume pieces to me with the floral embellishments.
Yeah, they are large for sure. Yeah, that's a good point. I just I'm so not fond of these
It's
dresses and the hair and everything from this time period. It's rough.
it
But the
is.
costumes, they are impressive. They're just so like big, you know.
Yes. Go big or go
Volume.
home. Volume. Yeah. And her Ellen's mourning bonnet when she's at the funeral for her poor friend and the kids, it's black and then it has white flowers and white ribbon and it shines so bright on the screen, the white against the black. And I think it was really pretty. And I wanted to call that one out
Oh, I love
specifically.
that.
And things are pretty much happening here now where Franz is talking to Ellen and is like, you know, typically an iron stake through the heart will kill these demons, but I think that's not going to work in this case. I think you need to lure him and keep him there until the sound of the first cock crows and daylight will happen and it'll kill him and you need to sacrifice yourself. And by now she has had a visitation or two from Orlok, you know, some really interesting conversations there. So let me go back to that for a second. So he says, "You'll return 2 more nights. I need you to willingly submit to me," which is interesting.
Hmm.
Your husband will perish. He gave you away, just so you know, with a bag of gold for a bag of gold. And he he really plays into her mental, you know, situation right here. Like it was your nature that did this. You awoke me from my eternal slumber. You're actually bad and calling to me. It's not me that's just a monster preying on you. And I found that very interesting. And like, I feel like that could be studied in like a college course or something.
Yeah, victim blaming. He's like, this is your fault. Yeah, it's so interesting. And also you do kind of wonder, like, she did let this happen. Like, I think a part of her knew and like wanted him to come to her,
Yeah.
right? But then when it happened, she resisted it and she was scared, I guess. And more destruction just keeps happening. People are dying, and yet she probably could have stopped it
Yeah.
before she did. She waited till that third day.
Yeah. It's it's interesting because she probably she doesn't know herself, I think. Like she knows that there's some darkness in her. She doesn't know how to handle it. She wants to succumb to the darkness, but then she
Hmm.
doesn't. She probably thinks back to that peaceful time with her husband. And there's always just this struggle. Yeah, so a lot of times the Mina character or the Ellen has a love interest with Dracula
Hmm.
or Orlok. Like they're bound to each other. They're connected, whether it's like something that happened in the past, like historical past, like 15th century, like in 1992 Dracula, or like her childhood in this one. And it's just so interesting. But then I also think about how like there's always been witch hunting with the females, you know?
Yeah.
And oh, it's the women who they're the culprit. They're the one who seduced the man. And it's like I always want to be like, no.
Yeah. Men have been the problem all along,
hmm
always
hmm
have been.
Yeah. But then you also think of like repression and women in this time period who they didn't get to explore their sexuality fully, or they didn't get to explore their
Mhm.
heart's desires. And so that feeds into like there's just so much going on with this that I'm still digesting it and still trying to like figure out what I think about Ellen as a character, her motives, her everything, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting to think about it in that way, sort of as a study of Ellen and
hmm
her representing like women during this time period. But
hmm
yeah, I mean, there's definitely the desire there. You can tell. I mean,
Yeah.
and she does fully succumb to it and seems to eventually enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like on pins and needles with this because I didn't know how it was going to end up because in other versions, like she'll actually live, but in this one, no,
Yeah.
she's done for.
Yeah, she's done for her. She waits for him with that wedding dress on, the veil.
She went
It's,
full drama.
yeah, she went full drama. And yeah, you have to wonder what she was truly thinking and feeling during that. But yeah, I mean, let's just talk about that scene, this ending scene here. It's so creepy. I had forgotten that she like sticks her fingers into like the crevices in his back,
Ugh.
and you get to see him in all his nastiness.
Yeah.
it's it's intense,
He's not like a fully formed human. He's decayed and
right?
gross.
And you just have to think of how bad he smells.
Ooh, lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, ooh. But yeah, it's a pretty powerful and terrifying scene when he finally feeds on her.
Yes. And it's interesting. I feel like he does go for the neck, the classic neck, but then he really does go for the chest a lot of times in this movie.
Yeah, the heart.
The
Yeah.
heart. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so creepy. It's drawn out a bit. We get to hear the nasty sounds again.
hmm
But again, it's kind of hard to tell with her if this is pleasure or if it's, terror, or if she's
Yeah.
just having an episode. You just really never know with her.
Yeah, I do see it because when she's pretty drained, but the
Mhm.
sun's rising and she still gets herself up to just keep him there. And I'm like, this is like true sacrifice. This is redemption
Yeah.
for
But
her.
also, is it love too?
Yeah, yeah, it could
Like
be.
it kind of seems like it is. It's so hard to
It
tell.
is. No, you're right. You're right.
The way that she holds him, she doesn't
Yeah,
hold him in, a way that she would someone who disgusts her.
true.
And so like she's very like loving with him,
Caressing
but
his disgusting back.
caressing the nasty back, it's so interesting. But then we do get the sun and this insanely terrifying view of him basically dying.
Yeah, yeah. It worked.
Yeah, I want to know how they did that, how they did
Yeah,
all of that, like the release of the blood and everything. And ugh,
I don't know. I don't
Bill
know.
Skarsgård.
Yeah, and then the final image of them laying together, which, you see in paintings and
Mhm.
that imagery of being bound even after life into the eternal. Very, very amazing ending shot. And
It is.
the grotesque, like dark sides of us like love that kind of thing.
Yeah, it is like beautiful in its own way. You know, it's disgusting, it's grotesque, but yeah, it is a really beautiful ending shot and shocking too, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job of keeping a lot of this movie under wraps, and so I think the experience of seeing it was really special. But yeah, that ending shot and then Thomas coming in to see her and knowing that she sacrificed herself.
I think he takes the cat, Greta.
Yeah. That was a
So,
cute cat.
oh my gosh, such a cute cat. And actually, now that I think about it, the character of Ellen in the 1922 silent film has a cat. And then in the 1979 Werner Herzog film, there are cute kittens. And I think there's even like a 30-second shot of just the kittens playing, and it's adorable. I really haven't talked about that version too much yet. So, Nosferatu 1979, amazing cinematography. The use of classical music is just incredible. And there's some really eerie scenes once the town has emptied, people have abandoned the town. There's been the plague and everyone flees, and it's just really creepy, but also really cool. I mentioned earlier the French actress Isabelle Adjani plays Lucy, who is the heroine of that story, even though usually Lucy is not the name of the main character. And similar to the end scene with our 2024 Nosferatu and the silent film, she plans to sacrifice herself. Her goal is to keep the Dracula or Nosferatu or Count Orlok character there until the sun rises. And all of these in the Nosferatu versions, the Dracula character, they had the two elongated teeth in the front. In the 1979 film, he also feeds on her heart, but then in the silent film, he kind of sucks the blood out of the neck, like the typical Dracula lore. Um, but yeah, I wanted to talk about those two and this connection here with the ending scene being quite similar.
Nice. I love that.
And I think earlier I said that sometimes this character survives, but to clarify, it's usually when it's Mina with the Dracula adaptations, she survives, but with the Nosferatu movies, the character of Ellen or Lucy usually dies at the end in an act of sacrifice. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
yeah, and then Nosferatu 2024, directed by Robert Eggers. As a whole, I think it was such a well-made movie, beautiful imagery, beautiful shots, wonderful acting, incredible uh, you know, elements to this unique elements to this story that we know and love. And so I think it was, yeah, an accomplishment for sure. I did really enjoy it. Do I wish that our Dracula drank enough blood to have like a transformation into a hot guy? Maybe.
Yeah, like Beauty and the Beast, if he just like floated up and was sparkling and became Bill Skarsgård, that'd be cool.
See, I mean, I kind of like that. I love Gary Oldman
Yeah.
because he has some really gross looks too in that movie. Like
Yeah.
really nasty, but then you get the Gary Oldman for contrast in his silvery gray suit with his Victorian dark blue sunglasses and top hat. Love it. So I kind of like it when they go there. I almost thought for a second that he would transfigure. I was kind of waiting for that and it didn't happen, which is fine. I think it's grotesque and real and I do still like it, but I love a little mystical, attractive beast to human scene.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so much of this reminded me of Beauty and the Beast
Hmm.
too, which is
Hmm.
funny, like the castle and all of that. But yeah, I it was obviously this is a long movie. It's not the longest, but it's already long and drawn out. And I think it's right for this movie to
Yeah.
have a sad ending.
Yeah.
It's very melancholy, the whole thing. It's not at all a happy movie, so for it to end happy would just be kind of weird, I guess.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I think it was right for this movie. And yeah, because we can get that in other movies. Love the Beauty and the Beast reference. Very cool. And that's a whole trope too, like the
Mhm.
beauty falling in love with the beast.
Hello, The Shape of Water. Hello.
Yeah. Nice call. Nice,
Very Beauty and the Beast.
nice callback. It's like women can always overlook that, but men can't.
But men can't. Yeah. Yep. I could talk about it for days. Yep.
We have hearts of gold. We fall in love with what's inside.
Exactly. Yeah. We fall for personalities and brains and
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, we're not here for just looks. Yeah, it's so true. I love that. And also like a lot of these in these stories, thinking about the shape of water especially, there is a deeper connection. Like it's almost like a spiritual thing and then you're like, "Oh wait, are these, are both of these people like of a different species or something? Is that why they connected?"
Right.
Um yeah, so it's not necessarily that it's just a human girl and a non-human person. Sometimes it's like is there something about her that we don't know?
Yeah. Well, I think so. At one point, Dr. Franz, Willem Dafoe's character says, in another world, you would have been a priestess, a high priestess, Isis or something,
Yeah.
and probably revered for your ability to have premonitions and know what's in your Christmas gifts. And
Yeah.
instead, in this modern world, you're being seen as crazy. And I think that plays into what you just said there.
Yeah. A lot
Mhm.
to think about. It's interesting.
It is. I love it. I love digging into this. One more thing I just thought of, Beauty and the Beast reference in the Dracula with Gary Oldman. Winona Ryder cries and he catches her tear and it's like diamonds.
Hmm.
And that's from the old Beauty and the Beast,
Oh.
the classic film of Beauty and the Beast, which was so ahead of its time. It's on HBO Max streaming, I believe, if you haven't seen it. Love the French Beauty and the Beast from, I think it's the 40s. I can't remember
Oh,
off the top of my head.
cool. That's a cool call out. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. La Belle et la Bête, 1946, directed by Jean Cocteau, and it's very surrealist and has really great special effects, very ahead of its time. So, yeah.
Ooh, that's so cool. It's crazy to think about like these films being made during that time too, when like France was like destroyed, It's like it's a really interesting time period to be making films. So that, wow, I'll
Yeah.
have to check that out.
You should. And you would also like this documentary about that director, Jean Cocteau, voiced
Hmm.
by Josh O'Connor. I think I told you I saw it.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did. So
So
cool.
good. So good. But yeah, all these movies, we've talked a lot about the 1922 Nosferatu and the 1931 Dracula. These movies they still hold up after all these years. They're still being the sources of inspiration for the modern adaptations. And I just love classic film and I don't want people to forget about it ever.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you do go out of your way to watch these movies and I need to do it more often because yes, there's something about those films that can't be replicated, of course, and that we just don't have today. So,
Yeah,
yeah, got to go back and appreciate those films.
yeah. Well, this has been so much fun, Stephanie, talking to you about Nosferatu 2024, directed by Robert Eggers, starring Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Willem Dafoe, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Emma Corrin.
Bill
Yes.
Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård, how could I forget? You got to keep me remembering it because he's just so that character. It was not him. It wasn't
Right.
him,
It's not him at all. Yeah,
you
it's
know?
very much just this creepy character he created. But yeah, we gotta give Bill his flowers.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. And yeah, I hope you had fun with this, topic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm ready to watch more spooky stuff now. So yeah,
Yeah,
let's bring it on.
let's do it. Let's watch more spooky period films. I'm thinking like next year for October, I just want to cover like all of the creepy ones. And Interview with a Vampire. I think we should do that one.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a long time since I've watched it. So yeah, definitely.
I love it so much. I love young Kirsten being totally crazy and scary at age 11 or something.
Yes. Yeah, I lived in New Orleans too for a long time and Anne Rice is,
Oh yeah.
such a cool person and is so revered and a lot of people go to New Orleans for her books basically or
Yeah.
because of her books rather.
Yeah. And then the new series, the next season should be out by then, so we could also potentially talk about that TV show a little bit. It's I was very resistant to watching it because I loved the 1994 movie so much, and then I fell
Mhm.
in love with it last year, so
Nice. I love that.
yeah. So there you have it, folks. We've covered Nosferatu. We've covered other spook-worthy period dramas, other Draculas and Nosferatus. Hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as we did. Please remember to go on to Instagram and follow me on Period Drama Style. I will be sharing lists of favorite spooky Halloween-esque period films and series for you, so you can bookmark that. Please like and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Apple, YouTube as well. And we would love to just continue to grow and keep creating podcast episodes for you all to listen to. So let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you. Catch you next time. Bye.